I'm Sharon Barnes-Waters, and welcome to CityViews, the show about people, places, and things that make New York great. The Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn launched its 46th season last weekend with the production of the play The Old Settler, written by the late, great playwright John Henry Redwood. And I'm so glad we have some of the cast with us here today. Pauletta Washington, Emmy award-winning actress, Denise Burse, and Warner Miller. Welcome to CityViews.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just going to give our audience a little background of the play so they'll understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
So here's the setup. The backdrop is a 1946 Harlem tenement. It follows the lives of Elizabeth Borney, an older single woman, and her sister Quilly McGrath, who recently separated from her husband. Strained by the cost of their Harlem apartment, the North Carolina natives take in the border. Listen to this. His name is Husband Witherspoon, a brash young man looking for lost love. Paulette, I'm going to start with you because you play the older sister, Elizabeth. What is the term old settler? What is an old settler and how does it relate to Elizabeth, your character?
Well, an old settler, I would say in contemporary terms, is like a spinster, a older woman who's never been married or is barren or never really had a serious relationship. And Elizabeth is that woman. She's had one serious relationship, and I think she was much younger at the time. And due to
Circumstances
and a certain person who she loves more than anything in the world came and, what she says, stole him away from her, left her as an old settler.
So, you know, I looked at this and I said, wow, women are still going through this,
Yes.
Putting pressure on themselves and then the pressure that the outside world puts on them. We're still, you know, we're not calling it the term old settler, but my gosh, why are we still dealing with this?
I have a goddaughter that saw the play, and she says, you know, Auntie, it's really interesting. She's like maybe 35, 36, and she doesn't have, because in the play, Quilly, my sister, says, you know, no prospects. Pushing 40 and no prospects. And she says, and you know, I don't have any prospects. She's 36.
Wow.
And they talk about their clock.
Yeah, the biological clock.
Biological clock. And she says, am I an old settler in 2017, you know? So it's very interesting.
Now, and you're speaking about your sister, looking at her sideways and everything. So, before we get into your character, I have to say congratulations on your Emmy. You won an Emmy for an episode in the Netflix series Black Mirror. So, what does it mean for you to come back to the Billie Holiday Theater with that award? What does that mean to you?
I think more importantly than the award, it was important for me to go back because the Billie Holiday Theater was my start.
Yes.
In theater in New York. It still to this day holds a very special place in my heart as a result of that. And I think it's twofold in the sense that I was given an opportunity to come back at a point where an award was attached to my career, but at the same time, it meant that the Billie Holiday had been instrumental in launching that in New York.
You grew.
And so
I
was
honed your craft.
Yeah. And so you know, the two are wedded in that sense in my perspective. So I'm grateful to be back. I'm doubly grateful that I'm with a cast that I absolutely adore.
I mean, just you know, your interaction now, y'all are making me laugh because you seem to really like each other.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. I only knew Pauletta ahead of the play, and I knew Warner from a different circumstance, and I knew Matchy from a different circumstance. But once we were all together in the same room, it just became magical in the sense that we bonded in a way that was very, very special.
Wow.
And as he was saying, it makes us sad to know as we're counting down the days that we won't have an opportunity to be together as frequently. But I'm hoping that, you know,
But you know, Pauletta was just giving you the sly eye and the slick. And so what about your character, Quilly? Tell me about her.
I'm not addressing it because that's not who she is.
I mean, she is like
I think,
Like doing this, like my sister.
I
I blame
know.
my sister.
I think that there is a level of truth in what transpires and what happened prior to that the audience learns about later in the play. But I think deep down there is a truth that neither of them has admitted. And once they do, that is what really shows the depth of sisterhood, why
yeah.
why
For sure.
family is so important.
And how sisterhood can be complicated.
Yes, very
terribly,
complicated.
terribly
will happen,
complicated, terribly complicated. But I think on the flip side of that, if we are really, if our relationships are really grounded in love and forgiveness, then no matter how difficult or complicated those relationships become, we find our way back to that love, and so we find a space to forgive and move forward.
And I think
that's
make it
essential.
deep, even makes it deeper at the end of the play.
Right, right.
And because of our age and our flushing out a lot of things, it's a
Putting some truth on the table. I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil, but you both put some truth on
And that's
the table.
exactly my point.
Yeah.
And
I
at
think
the
that
end,
happens in
whatever
real life.
happened,
Yeah.
you're there
Yeah.
for each other. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's stuff because this young man, tell me about your character. I mean, who names this child?
I know, husband.
Someone
Like,
who's-
is that the prophecy?
Exactly. That's
That's
you
the
took the words
prophecy?
out of my mouth. Someone who's prophesying what this man's life is going to be. But yes, I played the character. His name is Husband Witherspoon.
From the Deep South.
Country boy from
Yes.
Frog Mole, North Carolina.
South.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. South Carolina. I was talking to my sister, and she's from North Carolina. I'm sorry, I didn't mix up. And he comes to, he goes to the big city, New York, looking for love, with the greatest of intentions to reclaim this
Bessie.
woman, Lou Bessie.
Bessie, that's the only person that's missing in the
who's
cast.
not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mechi.
Yeah, Mechi.
To reclaim this love. I'll use that word to claim this love that he's lost back home. So he comes to New York, to Harlem, specifically searching for her.
Yeah. Is he misguided, or is he a player, or he's just still searching for himself? What is?
I'll start with what he's not. He's not dumb.
Okay.
He's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's country, but that does
doesn't
not
equate
equate
to
to
being
dumb.
dumb.
It's not
Exactly.
dumb.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think he's, if I had to give it a word, he's uncomplicated. He's simple.
Very
He's
much.
know if he's
simple.
uncomplicated.
Well, uncomplicated in the sense that his objectives are without pretense. Like, he's not trying to do this just to kind of get you over here, or do this to get you over here. He's here for a specific purpose. Now, along the way, he gets,
Sidetracked.
perhaps distracted by other things or persons.
You get an evil eye next to you. You know that?
I know, but
Yeah, but
Just
see,
give you the eye.
I love this eye.
this
I love
is
this eye.
true.
But in that regard, he's very focused. He's very on task. He knows what he wants, even though what he wants may not be.
Does he know what he wants, or he thinks he knows what he wants?
Well, you know what? I
Or you-
leave that up to someone else's interpretation, looking at
Okay.
that. But I believe he knows what he wants. But he learns along the way some things that may challenge that. So.
And I think that Bess understands that, being older, understands, and that's a part of her attraction to him, is that I see him as simple. When I say simple, I don't mean that to mean ignorant.
Yes.
I mean that
Right.
to
Yes.
be
You don't equate-
like a razor, like
Yes.
a beam.
Yes.
He's that, he knows himself, and I think the honesty, because in all of what he does I think comes from such a pure heart,
Yes.
that she. And when you live in New York with all of the different situations that you have to deal with, sometimes that can get lost. I know it was for me when I first came here, coming here just like bushy-eyed, and then the going like, really? That's what that meant? And slowly but surely, sometimes the life, that joy can be taken away. So you have to find a way to keep that joy.
So we've talked about the dynamics between the sisters. I'm going to ask, because could we call it cougar in today's day, is that the term to use for what Elizabeth is, or we shouldn't use that term for her? We said spinster. And how was the chemistry between you and Warner? How did that work? And what did you learn from Pauletta in playing this and being together in this way?
I defer.
Go for it.
Well, I can do it as an observer. No.
I don't know if we want you to do it as a. No, I think so.
No, oh my goodness, it has been one of the single highest joys, sincerely, working alongside Pauletta and Denise, but Pauletta as well. Well, one, she's extremely kind and nice and giving, off and on stage. You know, because, you know, not for nothing, but, you know, other actresses could have come in and, you know, been very demeaning and demanding of certain things, especially of a young, you know, she's been in this business longer than I have, and I'm the new guy, you know, trying to, you know, hold my own alongside her, and she's been very, very gracious and giving on stage and off. Also, she's beautiful, so it definitely makes it easy. I can absolutely
Okay, we're not doing another play.
No. I'm just saying it makes it, you know, and
Makes it easier, and you love coming
makes
to work,
it easy.
and it makes the chemistry better on stage.
Makes it easy.
Then you
It
say,
really,
God,
really
I hate
does.
her.
It really does, and I know it would have been hard to. Oh, I got to.
I
Gotta
know.
go
Love
there.
this woman
Oh
is
my
mean
gosh, I gotta
as she
do this.
is,
Yeah.
you know, but
But to
Pauletta
his
makes
credit,
it good.
he made it easy for Pauletta as well.
I was gonna say for sure he made it easy. I mean, just
He's just a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's
Yeah.
a giving guy. He's
Yeah.
a tremendous actor.
Wow.
So that all of those things make it easy. You know, make it easy because then I could then get into the story
Yeah.
because the words were there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Mr.
what-
Redwood has given us a classic
Right.
that transcends time, and when you see the play, you know that. For example, the comment that her goddaughter made about feeling the same kind of angst because of her age now in
'Cause we hear it all the
2017.
time.
Exactly right. But you know, I also wanted to add to that. I think it's important too that women stop trying to affix a life that is worldly, that somebody else has put on them that they should be, i.e., you have to be a wife and mother. If you know that there is a fullness of joy in the career that you've chosen,
Yes.
or some other path that you've chosen that brings you great joy and satisfaction, that also allows you the opportunity to give back to society or
Right.
touch or impact someone's life, then I think you have to really stop listening
And
to
to
all the
the
other
noise.
comments that people are making about, you know, you're getting older, don't you want to, shouldn't you be, blah, 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 blah. And that includes parents who do it to their children, you
children.
know.
Because they're looking
So-
to be grandparents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when am I gonna get some grandbabies?
And if you really want to be a
Yeah,
grandparent, you
grandparent-
see your daughter or your son is not doing that, go adopt.
You know, 'cause I used to say when people said, you know, when you get
foster
married,
care.
I say,
We need good people who are doing that. So
I would say when people ask, you know, when am I going to get married? When I get married? When I get
Yeah,
married? Half
yeah,
the time is like,
yeah.
when I'm going to taste your wedding cake. I was
Yeah.
like, we can go get a cake.
Yes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You can call it whatever you
Yeah.
want.
you know what I mean? It's-
But
it's
as for,
just-
yeah, it's just.
I think it's important just to take some of that pressure off.
Yeah,
them,
when I saw
you
that,
know.
I was like, wow, the play written so, you know, in the 1990s, and
And
the
it's
setting
still-
is
It's so
1946.
beautiful.
But wow, look at,
Yeah.
still relevant.
20 years later.
Yeah,
still.
and the key to it is love.
Love.
Really. You
Yeah.
know, so yes, Bess is older, but she does get caught up. But in the love, in the purity, he does get caught up. But in the love, you know, I mean, the love between the sisters,
Yes.
regardless of the conflicts, the basis of it was love. Because
The
otherwise,
root. Go back to the root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the
exactly,
surface stuff, but when you go to the root,
Yeah.
is that
If the
you know,
foundation is solid, it'll
the
stand.
foundation
Yeah.
is stuff.
It'll
And you know,
stand the
as we say,
test of
you know, the
time.
play written in the late 1990s. Warner, when you got this play, did you take a look at everybody else? Because so many people have done this. Did you take a look and see, okay, who did this character? Who did husband? Let me take a look. Or did you say, I'm going to make this role my own?
Well, both. So what I did, and I do this often, especially if it's a piece that's already been produced. I just see who the other actors who have done it. Now I don't watch their work. I don't observe their work. Like there's a film that with Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen and Bumper Robinson that is The Old Settler.
Right.
I've never watched that film. And because, to your point, I do want to be faithful to what the text says and kind of glean from that who I believe this character is, as opposed to being influenced by, someone else's performance. And then I'm mimicking them as opposed to staying true to what is in the text. So, yeah, I did both.
And Denise, I want to ask you, because you've done film, you've done movies, done different plays. What was it about this character that you said, I can sink my teeth into this character?
I think for me, it was finding the drama within the comedy. I've had good friends who have done stand-up tell me that, their lives don't mirror the jokes that they're telling, in a way that is humorous, but it's the truth that they're telling that they've found a way to make humorous, to lighten the impact for them. And so I was really looking at the dramatic story within the humor. And once I saw that, I had seen the play done before on stage and on screen with Felicia and Debbie. But it had been long enough ago that I had not, carried any of the performances. And so I went back and read it afresh to find the story for myself within the story that Mr. Redwood gave us. And so once I saw that and saw the beauty and the depth and the presentness of the story, then I knew I wanted to do it. And I knew I wanted to work with the director and the people. Michelle Shea was our director, and I knew I wanted to work with her. And the fact that it was going to be done at the Billie, like I said,
it was
just
like a
sort of,
plus.
it was just the icing on the cake.
And speaking
for me.
of Michelle Shea, the director, I'm going to read you a quote from Michelle. She said, "When it was first written in the late 1990s, it became one of the most produced plays of its time because you simply can't forget how deeply these characters make you feel. It is a timeless story that rings as true now as it did then." And Paulette, I want to ask you, when people leave the theater after seeing your performance, how does the audience feel? How does the characters make them feel? What do they take away from your performance?
Wow, I think we've been so blessed to tell this story as pure as each of us can do, and collectively that we've been awarded amazing response. And on many different levels and for many different reasons. And one of to me, all audiences are important that they receive, but the young people, the young students that we get that don't know anything about the 40s, that get brought into the story, and have given us comments about what they like and that they catch. And a lot of the phrases, they don't know what an outhouse is. You know what I'm saying? For instance. So, but they follow along. So I believe that we are staying as true to Mr. Redwood's words and telling the story, and I am having the most fun with them.
Yeah, it seemed
telling the story.
like I said, it seemed like you guys really like each other.
Yeah, we do.
It's for real.
And having
we do.
fun, and it's in a limited run at the Billie Holiday Theater, and I want everyone to go and see it.
Please.
Because you guys look like you have fun, and you're really putting your all into each character, telling the story, and it's relevant. It's still so
It is.
relevant.
In good ways and bad ways.
In good ways
You know
and
what I
bad
mean?
ways. It's still relevant. And I just want to ask each of you, as we're closing, tell me what else is in the pipeline after the Billie Holiday Theater, after this performance. Tell me what other projects you have going.
None that I know of at the moment, outside of me getting married. That's the biggest project.
Husband!
Husband.
You gotta be a
Really
husband.
gotta be a husband.
So
And
that-
she's wonderful. She's
absolutely
absolutely
amazing.
So that
wonderful.
trumps any other project but in
That's a
between
project
that
now.
time, that is a project, an ongoing lifetime, rest of my life project. But aside from that, just auditioning and hoping to build from this momentum of work. So, yeah.
Denise, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a break. I'm take
Good for
a couple
you.
of months off probably and just
Recoup.
yeah.
And Pauletta.
Well, on Thanksgiving Day, I have a project coming out with Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It. I've got a couple little surprises in there. And then I'm doing a one-woman show. My group is called Mama's Band, so we're going to get back on the road and do some things there. We should be here soon, too.
Nice. You'll let us know when it comes here.
Definitely.
Please let us know. We'll have you back in. Just for our audience, if you want to go see this beautiful play, The Old Settler, it's the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn. It runs through November the 19th. And to get more information about tickets and the schedules, go to thebilliholiday.org or call 718-636-6995. You got to see it only till the 19th of November and see this wonderful cast. As you can see, they're having fun. It's a great story. It's a relevant story. I want to thank Pauletta, Denise, and Warner for stopping by
Thank you.
CityViews.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank
You all
you.
have been lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.